ex-militant leader, government Ekpe Mupolo, alias, it's also known as Tom Polo, and security officials have uncovered 42 more tapping points by crude oil bunkers on the nation's oil pipelines in 2 states, Delta and Bayelsa, bringing the total to 58 as of Sunday. The breakthrough comes as bunkers, angry with the leader of the defunct movement for the emancipation of the Niger Delta men for exposing their unlawful business in the past few weeks, sent operatives of Tanisa Security Services Limited and threatening messages. Joining us from London to discuss these headlines, Arise business analyst Chika Mbono. Chika, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. And I want to get your take, Chika, first of all, on the oil theft, this latest number of pipelines, tapping pipelines that have been discovered.
You know, I have been thinking about this oil story. Why now? Why the discoveries now? And then some things came to my mind. The first one was like, I remember one time that I had a lot of cash in the house. I was doing some projects in the drawer in the house, and occasionally I would be looking for 1,000 naira, and I would just think that I took it, or little money. The day that I realized that somebody had been taking the money was when they took all the money, And for me, that situation, symbolizes what Nigeria has been through. Maybe when the oil was pouring and we were doing above 2 million barrels a day, nobody knew. We didn't care about this, these thefts, even though people were stealing. But because, things are so bad now, so we just realized that people have been stealing our oil. And as a lot of oil analysts have said, nobody knows whether this was 9 years ago. A lot of people have said that this precedes 9 years ago and is longer than that. And so I don't want to dwell so much on this because the man called government, the man who's the government in his name, has government in his name, government Tompolo, has spoken a lot about it. The fact that everybody in the food chain is involved in this, and a lot of things cannot happen if the people that were paid to look after us, don't allow the things to happen. One of the candidates, I think, for the election also, spoke at LCC meeting the other day and said, which I identified, that oil is not like walking to a supermarket and taking a loaf of bread or a tin of tomatoes and then putting in your jacket and walking away. To steal this quantity of oil that I was talking about, vessels have to come into Nigerian waters and they require permission to come in here. And then vessels have to leave Nigerian waters and they require permission to leave also. And so use your tongue and count your teeth and you will know what is happening. I guess we need to hear from the highest level in the country. It's good that the Chief of Defense Staff and the MD of NNPC Limited, everybody is involved in the process now and going around and looking at where the tappings are. And you heard them say that the tappings were so professionally done, very professionally done. It's not just like done by villagers or artisans. Somebody has said also that you cannot do these tappings when there's crude oil flowing through the line. So you need to have advanced information that there's no crude in that line to be able to tap. So it tells you the big picture that everybody in the chain is involved. My normal slang that the money is very sweet, and when the money is very sweet, everybody in the food chain, from the bottom of the pyramid to the highest level, is involved. We have this saying that the IG, the Inspector General of Police, cannot say that he doesn't know what happens at the checkpoints because he was once a DPO. So the chief of naval staff, the chief of everybody, everybody should, in the interest of the nation, as government Tompolo said, that if care is not taken, we may not have any revenues to run the government, and that's the risk for us. And so this is a national crisis, as these people that are the Speaker of the House of Reps, the Senate President, that have spoken. Everybody is speaking now about it. It's a national crisis, and then we should pursue it with that strength and energy and commitment that we have used to chase lesser perceived enemies in the country.
Thank you so much, Chika. Well said. Still on oil and gas, fuel subsidies. The senators saying they want to push it to the end of the year, that they don't want Nigerians attacking the new administration. What do you make of that?
Well, I mean, the first thing is that there should be a provision in the budget for a subsidy, till the end of 2023. I identify with that. But I also don't identify with the fact that, we've spoken about it in the program. And I said that if I were the guy who will come into May 29th, 2023, one of the first things I'm going to do is to take away the subsidy. I'll speak to the nation, and a lot of issues were already addressed on why this should be done. And the sacrifices that we're going to make from the top by leading by example. And then even President Buhari, who was an arch enemy of this subsidy, has finally come home to the roost and told us that subsidy doesn't profit anybody. Finally, thank God that he's come to that realization subsequently. So we said subsidy does not work for any economy. It doesn't work for us, and we need to remove it. But there must be a system to remove it. And politics plays a lot of role in economics, and letting the subsidy expire in June 2023, once the new government comes into power, may be difficult to manage, especially as this existing government has not let the grants work for removing the subsidy and the issues that that it might bring on. So there must be a process to removing the subsidy we talked about. But should we remove the subsidy? Yes, everybody agrees on that. But what's the process? And this existing government has not put that process in place, and that's the problem. And so, because you don't do budget 2 times, maybe it's wiser to just provide for it till end of 2023, and then let the new government that comes in May 29, 2023, immediately get to work, and having that reserve there, that providing the leverage to systematically remove the subsidy in place.
Thanks, Chika. Just a minute ago. So are we saying we're looking at 2024 for any moves on subsidy possibly at this point?
Well, I have not said 2024. I'm saying let there be a provision for it in the budget. So 2023. But if I were coming, if our amount is going to come in May 29th, I would say that even as we're campaigning now, as we're preparing our economic policies, one of the first things we're going to tackle is the removal of subsidy once we come into power. And then we walk through it. But what providing the budget, gives you is the comfort that at least there's something there. You don't have to go back for appropriation again to the National Assembly for that. That's basically what we're saying.
Arise business analyst Chika Mbono. Chika, thank you so much for discussing these pressing issues with us. We appreciate your insights as always.